So I bet you're dealing with some pretty difficult people in your life, regardless of how close they are. Friend, partner, mother, coworker. Doesn't matter. This video, these tips, they can help you. And this can also help those of you that are in more serious relationships too with, we'll just say, unhealthy people. And you'll know exactly what I mean. So the tone might be a little bit more serious, but it can definitely help those just more easier, occasional, difficult situations that you're in, that you find yourself just really battling with these unhealthy people, toxic people, whatever you want to call them, in your life. But also it can help the little more serious situations too. So I just wanted to add that little caveat in, that it can help. This can help in all of those situations. So let's get into it. First thing I had to learn was hurt people, and really understanding that saying and really just letting that sink in for a second, like, can really help you lower your defenses a little bit, which is going to be very helpful for the next tips that I talk about, right? So really just understanding hurt people, okay? You've probably heard that before, but it's so true. That, you know, when you're healthy and happy, you don't want to hurt anyone else. You know, you don't want to criticize them. You don't want to tear them down for their successes. You don't want to make them feel less than you. You don't want to make them feel weak or controlled or anything like that. So anytime somebody is coming at you and they're attacking you, they're making you just feel less than, or they're name calling, or they're belittling you, criticizing, just anything, all the way up to even, you know, verbal abuse or anything, right? Hurt people. Because healthy, happy, whole people, that's not what they focus on in life. They don't focus on going around and making everyone feel terrible, right? They're not trying to ruin someone's day or make themselves look better by putting someone else down. That's not, that isn't what you do when you're healthy and happy. So if you can kind of understand, it doesn't excuse it. By no means does it excuse their behavior, but it can help you see that it's not personal and it's not even about you at all. It's about their own insecurities, their wounds, their traumas. They don't know how to manage their own emotions. So your biggest superpower is going to be managing yours, okay? But you can start to do that, because that can be really difficult with these type of people. And I know that you know what I mean if you're dealing with them. You often just, they're witty, right? And they're always trying to hurt you, knock you down, keep you feeling small to make themselves feel better, right? And it can be very damaging, especially depending on how much time you have to spend with them, if you live with them, if you have to work with them, whatever that may look like. But in managing your emotions, if that's not something that you practice daily, that can be really, really difficult. And you can find yourself just getting wrapped up in some kind of ridiculous argument or just whatever with this person, where you're just going around and around in circles and nothing gets accomplished. You feel terrible after, and nothing ever changes, right? So what I find, and what I had to do for myself, was really learn to sit back and observe. Really observe them. So, first understanding that they're coming from a hurt place and it's not personal, okay? but calming yourself enough to just sit back and watch. You can learn so much when you observe and kind of take your emotions out of it, and you can just kind of sit back and watch how they behave, watch what they do, how they act, how you just really kind of separate yourself from it. And I know that sounds kind of like it would be hard to do in certain situations, and it is, but it helped me tremendously. So I feel like it's worth throwing in there that was part of how you kind of start to calm your nervous system a little bit too, is kind of like the detaching from the situation or the interactions a little bit, but also really disengaging from the interactions, right? Less talking, more watching. Watch them, observe them. And I won't even say more listening, right? Sometimes in healthy relationships or situations, we might say less talking, more listening. I kind of disagree with that in this situation with certain people, because you have to be careful, in my opinion, and from my experiences, listening more to these people, because they will manipulate. They will manipulate. They can make you feel less secure, less confident. They can really, they're not the type of people that you want to listen to and let in your headspace all the time. If they're verbally abusive, if they're really unhealthy, if they're really critical of you, really, harmful, that's not necessarily, at least not in those moments, or just really picking and choosing what you really let them, like when you're listening to them, what you really let kind of get to you, right? Or like when you, and I know that's kind of hard to explain, because sometimes you have to kind of put that bubble around yourself to protect yourself from what they are saying when they're being harmful, and knowing the difference. Sometimes we don't know the difference yet. So for this video, I would just say less talking, right? Because you don't want to give them too much ammo, too much information about yourself or how you feel anymore, because you've learned now that they use it against you, that they hurt you, okay, that it doesn't feel good, that you can't really trust them, right? Or you wouldn't be watching this video, because then you wouldn't really know what I'm talking about. So you know what I'm talking about. So you have to accept that you have to stop sharing with them. So disengage, stop sharing, right? Because they haven't earned that, right? They've lost that trust because they've hurt you in some way, probably multiple ways. They've probably betrayed you, ruined your trust. They've used something you've told them to hurt you when it's convenient for them. They hold on to it. They collect all of this information on you, and they hold on to it for the very right moment to use it against you, to get something that they want. Okay, it's a tactic. It can work very well, especially when you are a good person and you are genuinely trying to share and build a relationship with them. So tread lightly on information that you share. So that's what I mean when I say less talking, more just watching, observing. How do they act with other people? How do they just move through the day? Just kind of detach yourself from it a little bit and just observe them. You can learn a lot. And you can kind of start to just practice the art of just being able to manage your emotions and detach from them and not take it personally, so that when things do happen, you're just that much less in it with them, right? You're that much less attached, and it doesn't hurt as much, and it will help you in the long run later, in my opinion, to practice detaching as soon as you can, like just little bits. Detach from the arguments a little bit, sit back, just let them kind of do their thing, let them have their hissy fit or whatever, and just silence can be really powerful. That's one of the other things that I wanted to bring up, is that sometimes it's really, really helpful to just ignore their overreaction. Sometimes maybe not, depending on the type of unhealthy person that you're dealing with. You might have to play the game a little bit, right? You might have to kind of, which can be really scary in some situations, but silence can be very helpful, okay? Because they want a reaction. They want to get under your skin. They want to see you upset. It's really sad. That's why they're unhealthy, okay? Healthy person wouldn't want to see you suffer or wouldn't try to say things to get a reaction out of you. That's why they're unhealthy, okay? Accept that they're unhealthy. They're not probably the person that you thought they were, which is another really hard thing. It could be a whole nother video. It's really tough, really tough to do when you care about the person, but probably not who you thought they were originally anyway. So practice just ignoring the overreactions, and sometimes just being silent is better. Disengage, right? Disengage. Be silent. This doesn't mean, you know, the silent treatment in the sense of trying to get back at them or anything. I mean simply like just protecting your own energy. So it's coming from a healthy place. So when I'm talking about this in this video, it's coming from a healthy place, right? You're trying to be silent to not give them too much stuff to use against you and to save your peace, right? Because you already have learned that you're just gonna go in circles and circles and circles, and you're not gonna get anywhere with the arguments or conversations or disagreements or whatever, because they're not fighting fairly, right? Okay? Because their goal isn't to create a healthy relationship with you, okay? It's to get whatever need they met when they need it, when it's convenient, and you're just the means to it, right? And that's difficult to grasp, I know. But sometimes silence is just better, because they're not going to hear you anyway. It's not really, you know, if it's that bad, right? If they're that unhealthy, they're not going to really respect what you say. So save your energy, okay? Save your peace a little bit. And sometimes, maybe not in all situations, but a lot of the times, your silence can be powerful, okay? Because you're not going to be giving them more of what they want to hurt you, and you're not going to give them, right, the reaction that they want. So silence, okay? Ignore the overreactions. Know it's not personal. Know that they're hurting. Doesn't excuse it by any means. Does not excuse it. But it can help you kind of see that it's just that they can't manage their own stuff. So they have to take it out on you to try to just release it, okay? Hurt people hurt people. And that is something I had to literally remind myself of almost daily in past situations. Just reminding myself, it's not personal. I would have to say that to myself. It's not personal. It's not about me. It has nothing to do with me. When you're around people that are that unhealthy and they drain you and they're just that difficult of a person that no matter what you do, it's not good enough. You can just tell that they're unhealthy, right? That you're not going to get anywhere by trying to use healthy communication strategies with them, right? Okay, so you know. And they might say terrible things to hurt you. They might try to break your confidence. They might try to make you feel so small and weak and powerless. Maybe they want you to have to rely on them, or they just want you to see them as the almighty or something, right? Whatever it is that their goal is at the time. They might say whatever, and it hurts. It hurts. But reminding yourself, even if you have to close your eyes, if you have to walk away, or you can be watching them say those things to you and try to block out their words and replace it with the thought, of keep telling yourself, it's not personal, it's not about me, it's not about me, it's their issues, they don't know how to manage, it's not about me. And if you have to say that every single day, every few minutes, every hour, however long it takes for you to start to believe it, I recommend. It helped me tremendously. I think it will help you as well. It's a really important concept to understand, that it's not about us. It's not you, it's not personal. They don't know how to manage their own thoughts, traumas, reactions to things, hurt, pain, whatever it is that they don't know how to manage it. They try to take it out on other people, and we let them sometimes because we don't understand, or because we are wounded ourselves. Maybe our confidence is lacking, right? Maybe it's familiar. Maybe it's something from childhood, whatever it is. But you can start to have more peace. You can start to heal yourself. You can learn to better manage the interactions with these people, or you can learn to walk away from them and get away from them, get them out of your life, which, if at all possible, is probably the healthiest thing. But if you're not able, you can learn to manage and keep more of your peace. And it's gradual. It takes time and consistency, yes, but you can feel a little bit more confident and secure and safe and healthy. And I think these are some of the ways that really helped me when I started, and it was huge. Okay. So if you have to remind yourself every day, it's not personal, it's not about me. Okay. Observe, disengage, give them less, right? So talk less. They love talking, right? They love talking about themselves. Let them talk about themselves. You keep some of that information about you that they could use against you to you, right? You keep your energy and your thoughts and feelings and emotions more to yourself. Any, personal stuff, probably shouldn't share if you've already been able to identify that this person really doesn't have your best interest at heart, okay? And observe them, watch them. Eventually you'll be able to see that you're not the only person that they treat like this, more than likely. And you'll start to have just that much more peace, and then it can build, okay? And it gets a little easier, and you start to feel a little bit better over time, okay? I hope this helps. I hope this reaches the person out there that needs to hear this today. Share it with somebody if you think it can help them. And I will see you guys later, okay? Take care of yourself. Bye.